Hey, I am tuning in today to talk about acceptance. Kind of laughing. I've always just been so annoyed with the whole idea, how I had understood it before I had worked with it so much. Was kind of, I mean, honestly, I really thought about it as like lowering your bar, like accepting something that, like making something okay and incorporating something in your world in a way that was like just having it not be what you want and then just being okay with it. And the way that I was thinking about it was kind of resignation. Um, and I just, I don't want to have a life that I'm resigned to. That sounds crummy. But I have had such cool experiences myself and with a lot of folks that I've worked with around acceptance and really starting to understand it in a much deeper and more vulnerable, profound, really kind of powerful way, actually. So without getting too big about it, I'll just take a couple minutes here and share with you those ideas. So how I had thought about it previously, I'll just give you an example that's not actually true to my life, but it's a good example, I think, just in terms of making the point. Is like, let's say my parents, a parent, is an addiction issue. They're an alcoholic or with some other kind of addiction. And so not accepting that would look like trying to help them change, in a way that's really about my needing them to change. Or being really angry and hurt by the fact that they're not changing, sort of like, if you really loved me, you would do this, like, it's really hurting me and you're not changing. And it could go on and on, but basically it's this unwillingness to have things be how they are, whether they should or shouldn't be that way. You're just unwilling to have it, that those facts, the data, be the true data. It needs to be different truth. And that is not only painful, but it's suffering. So pain is that kind of place where something hurts, and suffering is where we just refuse to engage with it in a way that has acceptance. So acceptance in this case would look like, my parent has this behavior and lives this way. That is true. Acceptance does not mean, oh, I like it. Like, oh yeah, this is good. We're all cozy now. Acceptance means, I know that there are facts and data and patterns that are consistent, that give me information. I accept that those are true, and that is at least the history to current, and probably a good predictor of at least short-term future, if not long. It's accepting that it's true. It doesn't mean you like it. That's a really big thing. It doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. It doesn't mean it's not fair. It doesn't mean it is fair. It just means that you believe that it's true. And the key piece in that, it's just huge. If you could just take it being true and strip all the things off and just say, that is true. Yeah, you maybe want it to be different. Yeah, it hurts. Yeah, I'm angry. Yeah, it's not fair. But also it's true. So if that's the case, then now, myself, you, any of us, when we come to accept something that's painful or that we were not accepting before, we can say, okay, if this is true, then what do I want to do? The amount, it's just a total game changer. If you could, I'll speak in the first person, if I can accept that this is true, then I get to interact with the truth. I get to interact with reality, not what I wish was true, and not just with my despair at what is not true. I get to interact with what is actually happening. And it may not be an interaction that I would choose, but it's going to be so much more powerful of an interaction because it's based in what is actually already happening. I cannot overstate how amazing this is for people. A lot of times we can't get there. I can't get there. You can't get to that point. I can't get to that point until I'm willing to accept, because it's true, I feel this. That moment in acceptance where, in order to accept it, I have to be really honest about what it is to me. If it's true, then what does that mean about me? And how does that feel? And if I can do that, then I get to interact with the truth instead of what I wish was true because of what the implications are around it being true. Anyway, I hope that's not too convoluted. I hope it's some way helpful to someone. Starting to accept who we are, who we're not, the people that we're, the person that we've married, the children that we have, the life circumstance we find ourselves in. What if we could be in relationship to what is most factual because we're not afraid of what it means about us? It's a pretty vulnerable and a pretty powerful life. I invite you to explore, and I welcome your feedback and anything you've discovered in your life relative to this stuff. Good luck.